Have y'all ever stopped to ask yourself, why is it everybody that y'all see that's hustling, they always tired? Like, seriously, I hear people talk about it all the time, how exhausted they are. They're working several different businesses, they have several different side hustles going on, and they just are speaking about how exhausted they are all of the time. Then I went into business for myself and I started to kind of see people around me who were making a whole lot more money than the people that I was talking to previously. And I noticed that they were not tired at all. They were actually thriving. Me being my mother's daughter, I had to figure out why was it that one element or one side of entrepreneur women were thriving and doing extremely well, and the other side was struggling so bad. And I found one key commonality. I'm going to break this down. But first, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery architect. I support my amazing clients who are high performing women solopreneurs. I support them in mastering their emotions, mastering their natural rhythms, mastering their cycles, mastering themselves. And this positions them to be able to make more money in their business. And I love the work that I do. Okay, anywho, so the difference I noticed between the exhausted entrepreneur and the thriving, or should I say the surviving entrepreneur and the thriving entrepreneur, it was a matter of energetics. Specifically, it was the energetics around how they saw money. Now, the women who were thriving and who were just enjoying their success that I noticed, those women were not really worried about money at all. Those women were more focused on creating impact. Those women seemed healthier. Those women seemed happier. Now, with the surviving entrepreneurs, their energetics around money looked like worrying about whether or not it was going to come in, and trying methods that actually cause them to actually work harder and spend more time, energy, and attention focused on them, and constantly having conversations about how things were going to happen. It was a lot of anxiety I was noticing that was happening with the surviving entrepreneurs. So I did a little bit more digging into this case study because I really wanted to understand, what is the disconnect? Like, why is it that I can look at these women over here and they're thriving, and that these women over here are barely surviving, but they're working 10 times harder? And these are the three things that I figured out. So, the surviving entrepreneur woman, what I saw was in a constant fight against her own nature. Whereas the thriving entrepreneur woman that I saw was actually using her authentic nature to make more money in business. I noticed a pattern with surviving entrepreneurs doing a lot of DIY, not wanting to hire a lot of help, not really allowing themselves to be vulnerable enough to say that they needed help, literally trying to do everything on their own, thinking that they're saving a dollar when they're actually losing a lot more. That's what I noticed with the surviving entrepreneur. I noticed that a lot of women who are in a thriving space, like myself, we are willing to you know, pay into strong masculine systems that are automated, that keep us together so that we can thrive in our femininity. So I'm not emailing people back. I'm not chasing people down for invoices. I'm not sending people products after they pay me. All these things are being taken care of, or I'm hiring someone to come in to support me so that I can reclaim my time, my energy, and my attention and focus back on what's important to me. Okay. So that's something that I noticed, and I picked up from women who were thriving in their businesses. The second big thing that I saw that was different energetically, between the thriving entrepreneur and the surviving entrepreneur, was literally that the surviving entrepreneur seemed to be very disconnected from the ultimate power source. This looked like them chasing money instead of positioning themselves to be in position to be able to attract monetary opportunities. This looks like cheesy DMs or forceful sales tactics, and creating posts online like nobody supports your business, your friends or your family. Like, these are the things that I would notice energetically. They were disconnected from the power source, and they were looking for resources to be their source of income. And I noticed that wasn't getting them anywhere, and it definitely wasn't getting them any income. And I watched these women become emotionally, mentally, and physically exhausted. Meanwhile, the thriving entrepreneur woman, I'm seeing her be plugged in To the one that created her, I'm seeing her create routines and make that a priority, that she's spiritually grounded. I'm seeing women incorporate their spiritual practices in their business. And due to the grounding and the solid foundation, these women were literally amplifying and expanding in business and looking amazing while doing it. They just had this air about them that said that I trust that I am always going to be provided for. It was like the vibe of I just know that I'm always open and ready to receive what's in alignment for me. Baby, and the way these women were manifesting was mwah, chef's kiss. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about the type of men that they desired. I'm talking about the type of experiences that they wanted. Like, it was really happening for them. And it was because they were really rooted in their faith. I mean, these women were completely plugged into the power source. You know how it talks about you will know them by their fruit? Yeah, their fruit was real evident. And the rotten fruit from being disconnected from the power source was very evident as well. And that seemed to keep the surviving or struggling entrepreneur woman in the state of survival mode. The third difference that I noticed between the thriving entrepreneur and the surviving entrepreneur woman is that the surviving entrepreneur woman seemed to not have any joy or real purpose behind what she was doing. And this is when I began to notice the trend of women just getting into business in the form of side hustles so that they can make a few dollars. And because there's no desired impact that you want to create, a lot of these women end up doing something I like to call going dark for dollars. Going dark for dollars is dishonoring yourself, dishonoring others so that you can make a quick buck. This means you'll violate ethics. This means you'll lie. This means you'll scam, you'll steal, you'll cheat just to be able to get some money. Because you've chosen to energetically align with going dark for dollars, that puts you in the state of desperation, meaning that you'll do anything. And money is not attracted to desperation. So, though you may get some, you won't be able to sustain it, because it even tells you in scripture that if you try to obtain wealth from a space of evil, you're not going to be able to keep it. So now you're in double time hustle mode because you're in a fight to keep and sustain money that you technically, spiritually, illegally obtained. And this is the reason you can't see consistent revenue. What I noticed with women who were thriving in business, they had a purpose and they had a problem that they could solve, and they knew that they could create impact in that person's life by really supporting them in solving that problem. And one of the biggest reasons that I saw that women who were thriving, their businesses were doing so well, is because they had an overall vision that was extremely impactful. And I noticed because of the impactful vision that they had, that these women were committed to the daily mission of, helping these women solve their problems and creating impact around the world. These high earning women and high performing women were thriving because they made it their priority to be impactful instead of focusing on being paid. And choosing that energetic focus not only got them paid, but it continued to get them paid in a proper way. And I mean proper pay. And it's all because they had a purpose, and that purpose gave them joy. And joy is a spiritual fruit in a high vibrational state. So the things that you create from joy attract things that bring more joy. So if you want to go from surviving entrepreneur to thriving entrepreneur, then it's time to check your energetics around your money, your mission, and to make sure that you're actually plugged into the power source. If you need some help with this, then I got you. Click the link in my description box or click the link in my bio to grab the Feminine Alignment Income System, because that's what's going to help you master those energetics. In order to make the money, you got to be committed to the mission. In order to be committed to the mission, you got to know the vision. And the Feminine Alignment Income System is going to support you in that. Get it ASAP.